What's going on, everyone? This is Dalton at Dalton895, which is another Transformers Legacy video, and today we're taking a look at the Transformers Legacy Generation Selects Autobots Stand United 5-pack. So, for those who don't know, this is your way of getting your Earth Mode Hound, but it also serves as getting us figures that were either hard to find or better cartoon accurate versions. So we've got from left to right, we got Jazz, Sunstreaker, Trailbreaker, Wheeljack, and of course Hound himself. So pretty much your standard Generation Select packaging with the kind of blueprint image of the character. Got the, the name of the product there, of course all the legal information. But other than that, I mean, here you've got Jazz, Sunstreaker, and Trailbreaker. Then on this side you've got Wheeljack and Hound. So let's go ahead and crack this open. I've already taken a peek just to see, what they all look like, but there you go. So yeah, let's go ahead and get these out, and we'll start off this. I will say right off the bat here, I will not go through every single transformation on these, only a couple of them, because a lot of these we've already taken a full look at before. So yeah, I will skip some transformations. I might go from vehicle to robot mode for those who, have seen my other videos and want a transformation back from vehicle mode. I don't know. But I will not focus too heavily on this. I want to try to keep this as short as possible. So let's go ahead and get into it. So starting off the 5-pack, we are starting with Wheeljack only because he's not the greatest as far as what they've changed. It does look good, especially here in robot mode with, the brighter white, the grays, and, just more cartoon accuracy overall. I mean, that's the whole point of this 5-pack. So you do have that windshield here, but with the way it's molded, it's just even more obvious now that that's not the complete windshield. But it's not a deal breaker for me. Like, I've come to accept it. Now, I do have the regular Earthrise one, but I've added on the toy hex labels to turn this into the Prime Universe Wheeljack. Came with the sticker set to turn Silver Streak into Smokescreen from Prime as well. So now I can still have Wheeljack, or both versions of this mold, and still have them as different iterations of the character. So you can see the definite difference in color. This is more like a pre-yellowed, kind of off-white, whereas this is more like pristine white. But you can see some of the green details that were still here. But all the sponsors are now covered up with these stickers, so you can see the green details are pretty much still the same. So there's that. Now, as far as weapons go, you are given a copy of one of Elita 1's blasters. So there is that you can use with him. It kind of mimics the rocket launcher that he had in one episode. Like, barely. And, of course, you got his shoulder launcher. Now, again, it's more toy-based with that smaller missile, but I do have something that'll remedy that, especially, the inaccuracy with the silver paint on it compared to the blaster being just gray plastic. So, if we remove that, actually, I'll go ahead and let him keep it. Just keep it on there. Actually, you know what? No, never mind. Take that off. Because we do have, from non-F, give him a wrench, because this did come with a upgrade kit for Wheeljack. Got our shoulder launcher. We'll just tab right into there. And our show accurate blaster. Again, that'll just plug right in. And since these wings are small and pathetic, we'll just take them off, plug them onto the leg, just so we can keep everything that's original with him. Again, plug that onto the leg. We'll take this. Nope, that's loose. Actually, we'll just plug that blaster. Oh no, we need that still. Maybe we can plug this here. I'm wasting time. I'm not trying to. There we go. We'll take these and plug those in. Now, I did speak with Camzilla, who does work with Toy Hacks. So I do hope, along with the set that they've released, to add more cel-shaded windows, along with, you know, just other details to make it more show accurate, like the 539 instead of the 68 or 638. To add some new stickers to match this mold, but with, you know, the white and then like the gray color or silver. So, but for the time being, there is Wheeljack in robot mode, looking good. Now, I'm not going to go over the transformation for these. I think I've already stated that. Just want to keep this video more of a comparison style video. I know that doesn't really work because now I've got a Prime Wheeljack instead of a G1 Wheeljack, but still, thought I'd compare it because at least you can see what the color difference is. So we'll go ahead and remove all these and get them into vehicle mode. And here we have Wheeljack in vehicle mode. For the most part, looking very cartoon accurate. Like I said, would prefer if that 683 was the proper 539 that it was in the cartoon, but that seems to be what they were going for, or what they had available to use for Wheeljack. So glad Toy Hacks is able to do that. I need to pick up that set that includes some of the cartoon accurate stickers for him, Trailbreaker, Jazz. So, but yeah, I mean, yes, it is fairly bland, but I mean, it is what you're going to get for a cartoon style Wheeljack. So you do get those same green details that were on the bottom of his feet. Do get the red and green up here on the front, the gray for the intake, or, you know, the grill, gray wheels, silver rims. A little bit of an off-white there for the paint, but it's not too terrible. And of course, that baby blue for the windows. Bringing in Prime Universe Wheeljack now. And see, I mean, most of the color, I mean, at this point you can't see any of the details, but there's plenty of other comparisons out there. You see the Jackie right there, or license plate that says Jackie. So there's that. Of course, you've got weapon storage. You can plug it up on there, plug that one on there, maybe store it this way with the gun pointing up, or the blaster, whatever. Plug this one back. Yeah, this one doesn't really have a spot in vehicle mode that I'm aware of. And plug this blaster back here. If you want to take this off, plug this back here as well. Gonna have them overlapping, and there we go. So there is Wheeljack. So let's go ahead and move on to the next spot. All right, next we have Trailbreaker. So, of course, they've done a similar thing here. So, got a brighter gray instead of the black, kind of a more like charcoal gray. Of course, you got the baby blue or sky blue for the windshield, or all the windows. The gray on the arms and thighs is pretty much the same. You do get gray paint here instead of silver, and a little bit more of a vibrant red. Actually, it looks about the same compared to the original, which instead of being black, this is, well, the black is actually black here on the chest because it's all painted, but the plastic here is definitely more of like a brownish green color. I've pointed out before, especially like if you go back and look at my Power Master Prime video from Titan's Return, for some reason Hasbro has this habit of using this weird brownish green plastic for black instead of just using black plastic on characters like Trailbreaker. But you can see I've modified this one by cutting off the door panels and gluing them to the legs. I do plan on doing that with this one, but I am getting a second one of this from my friend Joe, so I can do just that, as well as adding the Toy Hacks labels. I might go back and get the non-F upgrade for this one. If not, I'll just, you know, find his original hand and put that on there. But I do want to get the fillers, and I'm missing one of the forearm pieces there, so I might just go ahead and just get the whole set for that. So you can see details are pretty much the same. You do get just the plain Autobot symbol here instead of the white background, because that is a cartoon detail. Of course, back this is more like for vehicle mode comparisons. Bringing out his shoulder weapons. They are both painted. I believe they're molded in the same dark gray plastic, but they're painted in this kind of pearlescent gray that's not quite silver, but also not just gray either. It's kind of odd, especially, you know, this one is more that kind of lighter gray color. This is definitely leaning towards that silver like we have with Wheeljack. And then you got his weapon. I don't know what I did with the original Trailbreaker, but it was all black plastic, or the black, brown, whatever plastic, and then silver on the end of this. And they did it just to make it look a little bit more accurate to the actual arm cannon, so it does just slip over, and it looks like it is just part of his arm. As far as I can tell, there is no real mold degradation. Like, everything still feels mostly tight, except for this. I might put a little bit of floor polish so that I can actually, like, stick to that. But I mean, that's been a problem since, you know, since that Trailbreaker and hoist. So all the joints still work as they should. So as soon as I get that taken off right there, that'll help with articulation, in and out right there. So yeah, everything still works as it should. So let's go ahead and get him into vehicle mode. And here we have Trailbreaker in vehicle mode. And yeah, he's a little Toyota Hilux looking truck. I did add this upgrade kit, or the rims from it. I can't remember who did it. I don't know if it was Nanef or someone else, but yeah, I had that from, you know, this version, which I'll go ahead and compare. So you can see the more like actual black, even though you can probably tell here that this is not black plastic. This is that brown, greenish plastic. I don't know why Hasbro insists on using it, but you can definitely, like in hand, I can definitely see a difference between the black paint on the roof, sides, and hood, and everything else that's supposed to be black. You can probably kind of see it here on camera. It is very jarring. Whereas this, it's all molded in this nice charcoal gray plastic, you know, giving off the fact that, you know, in the cartoon, this is a black pickup truck. You know, with the little camper piece added, which is removable. So yeah, you can have that little pickup truck with, I don't know, maybe use these as floodlights and, you know, just the casual laser cannon. Fold those away, put that back on. So yeah, all the windows around here are painted. You got the stripes up here. Tail lights are painted. You got different color here for the headlights. The headlights are actually picked out. Wish they did the indicators here, but I believe Toy Hacks might have done that. Of course, this gray paint there, the silver on the rims, except for, you know, that clip. But that's what these little hubcaps are for. And you can plug his weapon on there. Or if you have the Centurion drone weapons pack, you can add the radar dish that he had. Can't remember what episode it was, but there you go. So yeah, there is Trailbreaker. So next we'll take a look at possibly Jazz. So we'll get right into that. All right, so here we have Jazz, and you know, like before, it's not a lot that they've changed, but what they have does help quite a bit. I mean, opaque plastic for the windshield for sure. I mean, on the other, everything except for the hinge, like the joint here and the doors, was translucent plastic on this whole assembly. So everything but the joints was translucent. And that was causing a lot of problems, especially here towards the top. Let me see if I can show it here on mine. Yeah, there's a crack right there. A lot of people's are shattering right there and along, you know, where these joints are. So, yeah. Not sure if I'll do a comparison in vehicle mode, just because of that fact. But you can see they've added that kind of, you know, glossy gray paint here for the shins and the feet. Now, mine does have Toy Hacks labels, so it does add some more toyetic details, like the grill and whatnot here on the front. But you can see the white is a slightly different shade, not as obvious as Wheeljack. Same thing with the black plastic. It's just a little bit lighter, nothing like the grayish black plastic they used for Trailbreaker. The blue, I don't even know if I have any of the original blue showing on the Jazz. I think it's all stickers now. But here on the chest, it is that darker shade of blue, but then here on the side, it's that kind of Allspark blue. Same with the waist here, it is slightly different. Headlights are the same. The red, I'm not sure. It looks like I've got a little bit of a paint chip there. It's not terrible, but it is kind of noticeable now that I look at it. Might try to find another, or like some paint and try to fix that up. I don't know. I mean, it's not terrible. You do get that same black that was on the original Studio Series. Blaster is pretty much exactly the same. It is just a barely lighter shade of gray or silver. Articulation is still the same. The legs still have a hard time staying tabbed in when you're moving the knee. But yeah, no real mold degradation. Everything is still nice and tight. Of course, still no wrist swivel. So yeah, let's go ahead and get Jazz here into vehicle mode and we'll compare them from there. And here he is in vehicle mode, still looking awesome as ever. I adore the Porsche 935. The Martini Porsche 935. Just looks great now. I know it's not supposed to be 14, it's supposed to be 4, but like I said, I'm going to get that Toy Hack set that upgrades this. Hopefully I can, like I said, find something that'll cover that up. I could find a light enough shade of red. But yeah, I mean, looking really good. I love the blue windows, at least here on Jazz. You got the stripes going along the side there. You got the black on the spoiler piece. Got the gray back there for the bumper. Of course, all the other correct details. Now here we have with the Studio Series 86 version. Again, with Toy Hacks, so adds the stripe here along the side. More accurate, or at least toy accurate stripe here along that. Same thing going down the hood. Agent Meister with the, not quite cell shaded, but faded windows. With that gradient there. Got the Martini there on the side, taillights, black on the bumper. And one thing I've forgot to mention about the blaster, I don't know if I mentioned in the Studio Series video, for some reason, this peg is unpainted. That one's painted, so that one goes with this Jazz, and then of course, we've got the fully painted one here. Still just plugs right on. I'm not going to do it with this one because I'm just afraid of shattering that translucent plastic. So yeah, Jazz here, looking really awesome. Really glad they were able to do this with the opaque plastic. So let's go ahead and move on to Sunstreaker. All right, on to Sunstreaker, and of, the 5, well, technically the 4 that are just straight up repaints of themselves. This one I think does the most with compared to the Earthrise version here. So you can see they went for that more cartoon style orange leaning yellow, which I think works for the better, especially compared to just the bright canary yellow here. And of course, opaque plastic means there is no problem with paint matching, except for right here on the legs. It's not as noticeable in person, but the camera is picking it up big time. But here with the Earthrise one, it is definitely much more apparent on camera and in person. Here, it's just, okay, it's a slightly different shade. I mean, it is definitely a brighter shade, but it's not as jarring as all of this on the Earthrise version, especially in vehicle mode, and of course here, the back. So, very happy with how this turned out. You've got some of that charcoal gray here on the shoulders, kind of like what he had in the cartoon, except it kind of went the other way. Not a big problem. Got some of that here. Of course, you got that same shade of yellow-orange here on the ear vents. Got that gray face, which I forgot to mention, Jazz has that same shade. We'll go over an overview over the whole thing at the end. Got those nice blue eyes. You got some silver here on the sides of the forearms. You got that gunmetal, or not gunmetal, that same charcoal gray on the back. Silver the rims. You got the gray wheels. And now Jazz had black wheels. Of course, the Autobot symbol, well, I guess they both didn't have a, neither of them had the white background. So there's that. As far as weapons go, he does come with his vent thing that, you know, the Earthrise one used as like a weird weapon, like a hairdryer or something. I don't know. But just plug it onto the back there so you can have his vents. And then he comes with another version of Alita 1's blaster that you can use with him, if you so choose. Now, I've got the non-F upgrade, so I will give him, take it off the Earthrise version here. Go ahead and plug these onto the back of the legs, just for storage. So yes, there will be some parts forming. Oh my god, it's terrible. Parts forming. Don't care. Cry about it. So it's supposed to go that way. There we go. And then, of course, we've got this weapon set here, so you can take this off. He's got his show-accurate blaster, so we'll give him that. And maybe with the... oh, no. I'll keep it with this one. Just plug that into his hand. That will plug in with the flat side facing up. Plug this into the bottom. And there he is with his original G1 style blaster. Or G1 toy style blaster. Even though it is just attached to his hand, it does kind of look like it's coming out of his arm. So there you go. Just remove that for the time being. Actually, you know what? Over articulation, it's still all the same. All the joints, again, just like the others, feel nice and tight, especially here. That is almost scary tight with those hips. So, yeah, everything works really nicely. I did have to tighten up this just because it's a little loose on that peg and port. Also, be careful with rotating this around. I would suggest taking it off, flipping it around, and plug it in when you go into vehicle mode. That way, none of that paint scratches off. But it's not my job to tell you how to play with your toys. I mean, just be careful. Just word of advice, word of caution. So let's go ahead and get them into vehicle mode and go from there. And here we have Sunstreaker in vehicle mode. And again, looking way better than this. I mean, granted, you do kind of see some of the panel lining here, but I don't know, just the fact that all this yellow is paint and it's so much different than the plastic. Same with back here. It's just not great. And it's just such a bright shade of yellow. Now, like the MP, I do like this more show-accurate yellow. Now, one other thing you can do, and it's part of this non-F upgrade, you can go ahead and add these on to give him that cartoon style spoiler. And thankfully, I did paint it silver to match what's back here in this rear section. So there we have Sunstreaker finally. Now, as far as weapon storage in this configuration, not really any here. Now, if you want him without the spoiler, you can just take it off, and you can store the blaster just like that. Not really any weapon storage per se, but something's better than nothing. So, plus, I don't think I'm going to display him with this blaster. I think I'm going to go ahead and give him this one. I might have him wielding both, or I could give this to Alita. Same with the one that Wheeljack came with. But yeah, with this spoiler piece, it looks so much better, so much like the original cartoon. So yeah, glad to finally have a good looking Sunstreaker in my collection. Now, I did love the Classics one, but having this much more cartoon inspired look makes me so much happier. So see them side by side, some of the added paint details. You get a much bigger gray bumper. You got the headlights picked out in that kind of whitish silver. You got the Autobot symbol there, and on the roof you get the whole gray section here, whereas on the Earthrise version, it was just that little tiny section, and then this was left bare plastic. So, yeah. With them using, all opaque plastic, it gives a much better paint budget, and I think that should be just how it is going forward. No more translucent plastic, unless, I don't know, there's like some loopholes you can have in there, like, but just try to keep as much opaque plastic so we could have a better paint budget, so we could have better details like this. Would have been nice if we got some of that gunmetal right in here, but that's what that Toy Hack set is for when I get it. So there is Sunstreaker. Let's go ahead and go to the star of the show, and that being Hound himself. And here we have Earth Mode Hound. Finally. We've been clamoring for it for a year and a half, if not longer, since we've seen those images that we technically weren't supposed to see of him with the hatchet. Like, that wasn't even officially announced. It wasn't anything like that. It was a leak. Just kind of like what happened with Velocitron Hot Rod, and then that ended up getting shelved. Hopefully it gets a release similar to what this did. Or maybe not a multi-pack release, but at least some sort of release down the line. So yeah, it's a heavy retool of the Siege mold, but I do not have Siege Hound anymore. I recently sold it. But I do have the Siege Hotshot. Now this does have a few upgrades from a friend of mine, but you can see the molding difference between it. Kind of did this comparison once with Detritus. And speaking of which, we'll go ahead and bring in Detritus. So you can see the Junkion mercenary weapons dealer that, Hasbro forgot how to use the mercenary logo that they have. It does have the same hollow projector launcher. Or no, this is just a launcher, a rocket launcher. So it goes there. Here is the hollow projector. So we'll go ahead and give that to him. I believe these are all molded in, molded in light gray plastic, which is found nowhere on him except for these weapons, whereas him, it was translucent for whatever reason, but just painted over with green here and left plain. So you can see paint details. You got the star, the Autobot symbol here on the forearms. You got the painted yellow. You got the yellow here on the waist. You got a little bit of a green detail there. Some gray here on the feet. The rims, you got the rim painted. And okay, so looking at it now, it's not translucent. It's gray plastic painted over with green and blue. So there's no translucent plastic here. So glad to see that. Didn't notice it the first time when I was checking them out. Do get some of this kind of seafoamy green, not even seafoam, just kind of like a mint green for the winch and for his face. Again, those bright blue eyes. Got the, I guess these are fog lights, and then the headlights painted here. Now they get away with the Willie's Jeep thing with having these horizontal instead of vertical. So nice little way to get around the Dodge licensing, which I don't know why they needed to. They had, I don't know, something that we'll talk about when I get Sideburn, when that figure comes out. But, so there's those. And then we'll go ahead and bring in what is still today considered one of the best versions of Hound. And that is the Universe 2.0 mold, or in this case, the Henkei release. Still one of my favorite Hounds. I don't think I'll ever sell this figure. I do need to dust him though. Oh my god. But just as far as like an update of Hound, this is great. Like a modern take on the character as compared to something that's almost slavish to G1. Like this still has elements of G1, but it's still an upgrade. So I just wish I had better weapons. So, but there they are compared. And the joints are all the same as the Siege mold. So you get the ball jointed head, you get full rotation at the shoulder, in and out, 90-degree elbows, wrist swivel, waist swivel, forward and back at the hips, all the way out, thigh swivel, knee joint, and ankle tilt. So there is Earth Mode Hound. And, you know, I'm going to go ahead and skip transformation on this. we've all seen the transformation on these guys a dozen times over by now, so this is just going to be robot mode, vehicle mode comparison, kind of said that at the beginning. So let's go ahead and get them into vehicle mode. And here we have Earth Mode Hound, or Earthrise Hound, however you want to describe them as, in vehicle mode, looking just absolutely amazing. The green works fairly well, and the paint matching on the green plastic here in person, and on my camera at least, is not bad at all. I know some of the first initial images were kind of jarring, and to make myself a bit more of an idiot, I forgot that there is translucent plastic here on this piece, so that kind of ties into these. But with these, on the other hand, this is a dark gray molded plastic, so where did this shade of gray come from? Who knows? Anyways, so yeah, really nice paint details all around. It just kind of sucks there's no real seats there. I mean, maybe someone could make something that fills that in a little bit. Big open spot here. I mean, this would have been where the back of the vehicle tabs into. And speaking of that older mold, here is the Siege mold as Hotshot. Again, with those upgrades that I got from a friend of mine. Because down here, it would have had this whole section that filled out and added that port there. So you could take this and add it as exhaust, which I might actually display this Hotshot with that. Just kind of give them like a little, here we go. Little speed boost or something. So I never put that together before that I remember. So there he is with his mold predecessor and the pre-paint. So there is that, and here he is with still one of the best versions of him, if not the best, as far as vehicle mode and design and robot mode. There is Henkei Hound. So yeah, I love the colors on this. The dark gray, or the dark green, the olive green here on the bed, all the yellow going through, the silver on the brush guard, which the chrome is starting to fade, unfortunately. Silver rims. Yeah, still love how that figure looks. But nonetheless, very happy to have this. He will be going on my generation shelf, but this guy is not getting replaced in my collection. He's still going to have a place. So, yeah, so there is vehicle mode. So let's go ahead and do an overview of both robot and vehicle mode, and I will catch you guys right there. So here we have all 5 of the Autobots United 5-pack compared together, and they look amazing in this group shot. It just makes me want even more another set. Maybe do the 3 Datsuns, Sideswipe, and who else could they do? Yeah, do a 4-pack of, the 3 Datsuns, Sideswipe, and the 3 Datsuns and Sideswipe, and then do another 4-pack of Inferno, Grapple, then Red Alert and Hoist. Do that all together, and I think they'd have a solid couple sets to do. I mean, you could even do Barricade in more proper colors to match that Guido Guidi fan art. I'm trying to think of who else could get that kind of dream. I mean, we're getting Studio Series Optimus Prime very soon. I imagine it's going to have opaque plastic painted over. Do a 2-pack of Ironhide and Ratchet as regular, non-dead with no translucent plastic. I mean, people would eat that up. Maybe Warpath in a brighter shade of red. I don't know. There's a lot they could do. I know not everyone's going to want that, but I know people out there that are wanting more show-accurate details, more vibrant colors. So, and some people didn't get a chance to get those molds, so a little bit of opportunity there for everything. So let's go ahead and get these guys into robot mode, and we'll finish this off. All right, and here we have the Autobots Stand United pack all together in robot mode, and again, they look stunning. Really glad to have these the way they've done them. Yeah, like I said before, Wheeljack's little plane kind of lackluster as far as some of the details, like just how small the 683 is and the fact that it's 638 instead of 539. And overall, I mean, I would agree with a friend of mine that would be nice if the windows were a little bit different, maybe actually cell shaded instead of just one solid shade of blue, or maybe something darker like a darker blue, or even just black. But I know in case like Trailbreaker, it wouldn't make much sense. So kind of iffy on it, but I do overall like what they've done. The shade of blue works well enough, I think, to get that cartoon inspired detail across. And you know, you can part this out however you want. You can keep jazz if you don't like the shattering translucent plastic. You know, keep Trailbreaker if you know, don't like the weird brownish green plastic that they use. Sunstreaker, I mean, it's definitely an improvement. And of course, if you want more of a cartoon white Wheeljack as opposed to the kind of discolored version that we get with Earthrise, and of course, you know, everyone's going to want Hound. So there's a little bit something here for everyone if you don't want the whole set. So at least most people can be happy, part it out to friends. Like I said, I've got a friend that is actually selling me their Trailbreaker. I might try to get another Jazz. I might just stick with getting another Studio Series Jazz. But I do want to get that paint chip fixed. Don't know if I can find the right shade. But overall, very happy with this set. Wonder if they'll do more. I still want them, before they do more of those repaints, to do some that actually want to happen. Earthrise Sunstorm in his E-Hobby colors. Fractal and Packrat as a 2-pack. Glyph and Tap Out as a 2-pack. Let's see what else. Windraiser out of Silverbolt. Use the new Cybertron Starscream for something. There's, you know, plenty of other things that we could get instead of just G1 repaints. As much as I do enjoy these and would like them to touch on some of the other G1 Season 1 Autobot characters that could use a better paint job, like Red Alert, you know, not having to correct, you know, coloration on the arms and everything. Or, you know, like Inferno and Grapple. Like Grapple definitely with the issues that he had with the crane arms pegging in. Use the tooling that you used with Road Hauler to fix that. I don't know. But that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll try to keep it short, so let me know what you guys think of this 5-pack. Which ones are you keeping? If not all of them, which ones are you getting rid of? Like, I guess that's technically the same thing. And what are you excited for Generation Selects? Like, are there any characters that you'd want to see done, repainted, and, you know, homaging old BotCon style designs? So, like I said, let me know. Be sure to check out everything else down in the description. Leave me a comment. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.